Good morning. We are about to commence with the inaugural session. Namaskar, Suprabhat. Our esteemed guests on the dais, off the dais, Honorable Vice Chancellors, Provosts, Registrars, Principals, and invitees. I extend a warm welcome to all of you this morning to the inaugural session of Train the Trainer program on NEP 2020. This 5-day training program is being held under the aegis of the Commissionerate of Technical Education and is jointly organized by Gujarat Technical Education and Research Society JITERS in association with the National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research NITER Chandigarh.
રાષ્ટ્રીય શિક્ષણ નીતિ NEP 2020ના અમલીકરણ માટે તથા શિક્ષકો અને શિક્ષણ જગતના તજજ્ઞોમાં NEP 2020 વિશે ઊંડી સમજણ કેળવાય એ હેતુસર ગુજરાત રાજ્ય કમિશનરેટ ઓફ ટેકનિકલ એજ્યુકેશન, ગુજરાત ટેકનિકલ એજ્યુકેશન એન્ડ રિસર્ચ સોસાયટી અને નેશનલ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ ઓફ ટેકનિકલ ટીચર્સ ટ્રેનિંગ એન્ડ રિસર્ચ ચંદીગઢના સહયોગથી યોજાયેલ 5 દિવસીય તાલીમ કાર્યક્રમ ટ્રેન ધ ટ્રેનરમાં આપનું હાર્દિક સ્વાગત છે. અનિવાર્ય કારણોસર શ્રી ઋષિકેશ પટેલ માન્ય મંત્રી શ્રી ઉચ્ચ અને ટેકનિકલ શિક્ષણ ગુજરાત આપણી વચ્ચે ઉપસ્થિત રહી શક્યા નથી, પરંતુ કાર્યક્રમની સફળતા માટે આપણને શુભકામનાઓ પાઠવી છે.
We have with us on the dais Srimati Sunaina Tomar, Additional Chief Secretary, Higher and Technical Education, Government of Gujarat; Shri Rajat Moona, Director, IIT Gandhinagar; Shri Banshanidhi Bhani, Commissioner of Technical Education, Government of Gujarat; Dr. Maitri Datta, Professor, NITER Chandigarh; Dr. Rajan Gajjar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Gujarat Technical University; and Dr. Ami Upadhyay, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. Let us invoke the blessings of the Almighty and begin the program on an auspicious note. May I invite the dignitaries on the dais for the lamp lighting, please.
नमोस्तुते दीपज्योते नमोस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Thank you very much. We would like to welcome all the dignitaries on the dais. I request Shri Banshanidhi Pani, Commissioner of Technical Education, to felicitate Srimati Sunaina Tomar, Additional Chief Secretary, Higher and Technical Education. I request Shri Sachin Parekh, Joint Director, Commissionerate of Technical Education, to felicitate Shri Rajat Moona, Director, IIT Gandhinagar. I humbly call upon Shri Chirag Patel, Professor, Eli College, Morbi, to felicitate Shri Banshanidhi Pani Sir, Commissioner of Technical Education. Shri Ketan Modi, Joint Director CTE, to felicitate Dr. Maitri Datta, Professor NITR, Chandigarh. Thank you. I now request Dr. Vimal Prajapati, Joint Director, Commissionerate of Technical Education, to welcome Dr. Rajul Gajjar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Gujarat Technological University. I request Prajapati sir to remain on stage and welcome Dr. Ami Upadhyay, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. I request Pani sir, Commissioner of Technical Education, to deliver the welcome address.
Today as we celebrate Vikas Saptah, we have organized this program on NEP, beginning the awareness program, and we are very delighted that Additional Chief Secretary to the Government and Education Department, we have also amidst us Shri Rajat Madam, who is Director IIT Gandhinagar, takes keen interest in his contribution to implementation of NEP in technical education. Welcome Shri Rajat Madam also. We have also amidst us Vice Chancellor GTU and Vice Chancellor of Babasaheb Ambedkar University, Raju Gajjarji and Ami Upadhyay respectively, and have Dr. Maitri Datta. She is professor in ITTI Chandigarh and is coordinating the entire program for the next 4 days. We are very happy that for the first time, in fact, we are organizing a program on implementation of NEP training to students, because what is more important is to implement something where first ideally the mind is clear as to what needs to be implemented. Now for that clarity, more important than what needs to be implemented, what need not be implemented is the first thing. I think when we say that what need not be implemented as a part of NEP, there are a lot of things which are already there in our system which need to be, we need to be dissociated from these things so that we understand what needs to be implemented. Because the baggage that we all are taking of the old system is so much. It's like a small child taking a huge bag and going to a school, 20 kg bag, and the child's weight is 30 kg, and going to the school. We need to first understand what need not be implemented to implement NEP, because we cannot have both the systems together, old system and new system. Old system needs to be, reformed, and NEP is that transformative reform which is there. It is a groundbreaking shift from the earlier system, in the sense, earlier, now also recently we must remember Ratan Tata, just a few days back he passed away, and his legacy. He was saying in one of the programs that earlier when he used to be there, they used to say that those who have spent 15 years in shop floor can only open their mouth in any policy decision. Now, in industry, anybody who is just out from the college can contribute, can become a CEO, can give his opinion on policies. So that significant change is there because of technology, because of changes in educational systems, and that needs to be implemented in technical education. I think in the implementation of NEP, as we all know, that technical education implementation of NEP is the most critical one, because Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0 is here, and I have seen there are teachers who have taught students for last 30 years but have never experienced, a civil engineer has never experienced as to how the roads are made, how a building is, what are the platforms and how they built it. So I think we need to change. Unless the teachers change, the students cannot learn. So I think now there is a change where it is not necessary. In fact, the technology companies of the West, they have stopped employing people on the basis of degrees. They have started employing people on the basis of their passion and their knowledge. Degrees have become irrelevant for some of the technology companies in the West. So I think here we need to change the way we award degrees, the way we give. And I think this is the reason why this workshop is there. In fact, over next 4 days, Maitri Dattaji will give a detailed overview of what are the different parameters on which the entire program will be based. There will be focus on sustainability, curriculum restructuring, outcome-based educational framework, evaluation tools, leveraging technology quality assurance, IDPs, role of faculty, NCRF, and blended learning and flipped learning. These are some of the important points that NITTR Chandigarh will be delving on. And I think I'll request all of you that this is a good program that we have instituted. In fact, for the first time after 3 years of implementation of NEP, Commissionerate of Technical Education has instituted an NEP cell in city office. So I think we must give credit to GTU for facilitating implementation of NEP in a big manner. And this we have to be, I'll end again from where I began, that we have to unlearn to learn NEP and implement NEP. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. The program's objectives include fostering an understanding of NEP 2020, promoting student-centric teaching, improving classroom management, instructional methods, and integration of technology. I request Dr. Maitreya Datta, Professor NITTR Chandigarh, to tell us more about the objectives of the training program.
गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू. कैसे हैं सब? फाइन. सबसे पहले मैं GTERS कमिश्नरेट ऑफ टेक्निकल एजुकेशन गुजरात बधाई भी देती हूँ और धन्यवाद भी करती हूँ कि वो निटर चंडीगढ़ के साथ कोलैबोरेशन में ये कोर्स को ऑर्गेनाइज किया. Thank you, sir, for your thoughtful action. You must be knowing about NITTR because National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research, it has been established by Ministry of Education for teacher education. There are 4 NITTRs, and I suppose that NITTR Bhopal is associated with Gujarat, Ahmedabad, because they have the extension center here, and most of the faculty, your faculty members are attending many courses, many FDPs under NITTR Bhopal. Similarly, we have the NITR Chandigarh, NITR Chennai, and NITR Kolkata. And at this point, I just open to you and also Commissioner of Technical Education that NITR Chandigarh is open to you all to welcome you in Chandigarh, most beautiful city of Chandigarh. Because many times we have seen that the faculty members are really, they are attending the courses in their own regional NITRs. But now, since it is a national institute, so we welcome to each and every participant from all over India. And we are bearing the traveling and boarding and lodging expenses for the government institutes. So you all are welcome to my city, Chandigarh, for future FDPs. NITR Chandigarh was established in 1967. And we had a very good infrastructure. And like other NITRs, we have the 5 main activities, main mandate to conduct the short-term courses or FDPs. We have a very good curriculum development center who develops or who designs the curriculum development. We have a very good studio, second largest studio in Chandigarh, where in sometimes we used to give in rent basis to Z and Star also to conduct some serials and all these things in our institute, an institute studio. And now we are creating all the video films and everything in our studio only, in MOOCs and everything. Research also, we are going very far in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. We have a very good infrastructure, state of the art. This NEP 2020, as you know, because it is a dream of our Honorable Prime Minister. And we, as a faculty, as a teacher, we have the responsibility to, take it further. Of course, there are many problems in implementation that we understand. You also understand. The policy makers also understand. But still, we want that we should go a step ahead, so that after that one step ahead, when we will take the steps, then only we will go to the progressive situation. So that is actually our motto, that how to give the concepts of NEP and how we can take the further steps for the implementation. So in this course, as you have already, the timetable you must have seen, that since NEP, the main thrust areas, near about 12 thrust areas, and UGC had told that 10 thrust areas, some 1 or 2 thrust areas have been combined. So all those areas we will try to include in this timetable. We have tried to include. So for example, the teacher education, technology integration, it is very much important for a teacher, nowadays how to introduce this ICT, AI tools for teaching and learning, and all these things, those are the supportive tools. Similarly, we have taken we will take the sessions on, governance, accreditation, right? Something about the NCRF, National Credit Framework, which is very important part of NEP 2020. Also, we will tell about that how to design the curriculum according to this NCRF, because NITR Chandigarh is designing or developing the curricula for the diploma colleges, polytechnic colleges, and they are guiding to the engineering institutes also to design and develop the curricula according to this NCRF. So we will tell about those also. Besides this, we will tell about the OB, as Sir has said, already introduced, the blended learning and all these things. And of course, it will be the, discussion, and it will be the two-way discussion, because you all are teachers. So we will also learn from your experience, and you will also learn from our experience. So I'm sure that this course will be benefited for you, and at the end of 5 days, both sides will be benefited. And thank you so much for your welcome, sir, heartiest welcome. And सबसे पहले मैं थैंक यू एंड थैंक यू सो मच एंड सबसे पहले मैं श्रीमती सुनैना जी को बहुत बहुत थैंक्स करना चाहती हूँ कि मैम अपने अपना इतना कीमती समय आपका वो करके आप यहाँ पर आए हैं सबको हम लोग को मोटिवेट करने के लिए एनर्जाइज करने के लिए एंड थैंक यू फ्रॉम माय कोर ऑफ द हार्ट एंड मुना जी के बारे में क्या बताएं उनके बारे में मैंने बहुत कुछ सुना सो टुडे आई हैव सीन यू सर because I have come to know about you in many meetings and all about your wisdom and all these things. So thank you so much. And also मैं वांछा निधि पानी जी का भी बहुत thank you करती हूँ who is the basics and who is the strength or who is the motivator of this organizing this course. And also मैं टू वाइस चांसलर्स गुजरात टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी मैडम के साथ अभी बैठ के जो मैंने बात की तो फिर मुझे लगा कि हाउ शी इज़ टेकिंग एज ए वाइस चांसलर हाउ शी इज़ टेकिंग सो मच प्रैक्टिकल स्टेप्स मैम मैं ये बताना चाहती हूँ सबके सामने मैं बताना चाहती हूँ कि आपने जीटीयू के लिए जितना स्टेप्स अपने एनईपी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए लिया दो मैं चंडीगढ़ से हूँ बट स्टिल पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी में इतना स्टेप्स अभी तक नहीं लिया गया सो मैं सबके सामने मैं आपको बोलती हूँ ऑल्सो मैं अमी उपाध्याय जी का भी थैंक यू करती हूँ कि मैम आप आए और अभी आपको सुनने के लिए भी मौका मिलेगा एंड थैंक यू सो मच अगेन फ्रॉम निटर चंडीगढ़ दैट यू हैव वेलकम्ड अस फॉर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग दिस कोर्स एंड आई एम श्योर दैट यू विल बी बेनिफिटेड थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you very much, madam. The program seeks to enhance faculty knowledge of NEP provisions, leading to improved student outcomes, research, and institutional growth. May I humbly request Shri Rajat Moona, Director IIT Gandhinagar, to say a few words on the occasion.
Good morning to all of you. Madam Sunaina Tomar, Shri Faniji, and of course our esteemed Vice Chancellors, Dr. Rajul Gajjar, Dr. Ami Upadhyay, and very passionate speaker that you have got today, and a trainer, Dr. Maitreyi Datta from NITTR Chandigarh. I think this is the most appropriate time to discuss about NEP 2020. 3 years have passed, and in Gujarat, the implementation has already started. There are few things that we need to look at and how one can actually, take corrective actions in between so that NEP 2020 is implemented in its own full glory. As Faniji said, how can you unlearn some of those things which probably need to be looked at? I mean, this, in fact, when he was talking about, it was reminding me of a story where students were taught how to write an essay on a cow, okay? And in the exam paper, unfortunately, the essay was on the tree, okay? And some smart people actually said, okay, so there was a tree, below the tree there was a cow, and rest of it is on the cow. So really need to unlearn so that you can describe tree well. With reference to that, I would actually congratulate Department of Higher Technical Education, Commissioner of Technical Education, and GITR for organizing this workshop. with very able guidance from NITTR. I think NEP 2020 has two major components, one for school education, another one for higher education. And it is one of those very revolutionary policy that came about in recent time, changing, at least aiming to change the perspective of education altogether. I'm going to focus mostly on higher education. And in higher education, lot of things actually need to be looked at, and that's what were the objectives of NEP 2020. First is reorganizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student. We were talking about it a little while ago. Students, when they come, every individual is a different caliber, right? Some have certain capabilities, some have certain other capabilities. Nobody has any less capabilities, just that they are different people, okay? But our education system was putting all of them into a single basket, using a single grading system, which basically was putting some people on a lower pedestal and some other on a different pedestal, because the marking, because the evaluation criteria, because the yardstick that they were actually set up were of different kind. They suited somebody, they did not suit some others. And therefore, NEP 2020 set aside an objective, and I think these are the kind of things that as a teacher we need to look at. We have many academic leadership here and also all faculty members, and I'm sure if these kind of things are well understood, it will be one tool for implementing NEP 2020 in full speed. The second thing is flexibility. Flexibility to choose their own learning objectives for their students. Flexibility for students to do things at their own pace and using their spare time to implement their own capabilities. For example, if somebody wants to do a startup, want to get out for a year, do something, if it succeeds, okay, if it fails, even then it's okay. And that is, I think, what we are looking at. How do we recognize and how do we admire in that regard? In fact, NEP 2020 goes and says that every technical institution in time to become should be imparting holistic interdisciplinary education. By 2040, every higher education institute should turn into multidisciplinarity. And now it actually sounds something reasonable to achieve, but then in practice, the challenge exists because multidisciplinarity is not even understood by many. You have to change the DNA of the institute. You have to change the DNA of the universities. You have to change the DNA of your education in order to bring multidisciplinarity. Unfortunately, our own system right now, as Fanny talked about, is compartmentalized, and therefore multidisciplinarity becomes a challenge, even though it may look very simple. Emphasis is on conceptual understanding, and that is, I think, another objective of NEP 2020. Creativity and critical thinking are very important things, and all of these must be accompanied by ethics, and that is something that, in my opinion, NEP 2020 has set a very, very important parameter, a very, very important value on it, which is basically the need for the time. Multidisciplinarity is, of course, a very important goal of education in NEP 2020. Now, in order to achieve multidisciplinarity, there are few more things that actually automatically comes. For example, if a disciplinary education is not available in one institute, can a student choose some of these topics to be done in another institute? If some capability, and of course not all institute can have in high-tech areas all capabilities, can a student learn at his own pace from various different places? And from that perspective, how do we actually handle a credit earned or education or courses earned done in some other institute into my own institute towards graduation requirement? National Credit Framework is one such approach. ABC, Academic Bank of Credit, is an important tool in order to provide that, where a student doing courses, the credits can be deposited into Academic Bank of Credit by the institute which awards the credit, which grades them, and the institute which awards the degree can look at that and establish if there is some kind of a correlation or some kind of equivalence between their courses and the courses done elsewhere, and look at in a pure credit-based system requirement and award the degree. Research and innovation is yet another very important goal. Setting up incubation cells in higher institutes of learning, setting up industry and institute collaborations so that students actually get very high practical knowledge and become more eligible for industries. Choice-based credit system, I think ma'am is going to talk about that in time to come, but I want to therefore refrain from getting into more detail. Criteria-based grading system, emphasis on learning goals for each per program is what is important. And finally, continuous evaluation versus a high-stake examination system like, semester, end semester examination and all that. Emphasis is more on continuous evaluation, continuous learning goals, which actually provides a little better understanding of a student in terms of evaluation. One important thing that I must actually say is NEP 2020 puts in a very high focus on increasing gross enrollment ratio. Gross enrollment ratio of students graduating after class 12 or school education and going into higher education. Similarly, more participation from female students, because it has been largely seen that female students' participation, especially in the engineering education and even in the higher education, has been low. And I'm quite pleasantly surprised to see a lot of lady participants here in this particular thing, which is a very, very important and interesting aspect that NEP 2020 also focuses. Finally, changes, transformation in regulatory framework, and two important goals of having faith, respect on our own education system, ancient education system, Indian knowledge system, Indian knowledge education. And that's very important because we should not actually leave our past and live in the glory of somebody else's defined education. When our own education system was so competent, so capable, we should not actually forget that. And last thing that I want to say in this is, while doing all this, education is a worship. One must actually look at education not as a goal of commercialization. And therefore, no commercialization of education is also a very important aspect, even though one needs funds and all that for taking education forward. But then that's all, that's where it should actually end. With this, I once again congratulate GTRS and NITTR for organizing this program and wish all participants the very best as they attend this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. The NEP 2020 aims to foster innovation and critical thinking in students and thereby provide holistic development. May I now invite Dr. Ami Upadhyay, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University, to say a few words.
Good morning to all. Respected Additional Chief Secretary, Higher and Technical Education, Srimati Sunaina Tomarji. Respected Shri Banchanidhi Paniji, Commissioner, Technical Education, Government of Gujarat. Respected Professor Munnaji, Dr. Mehtaji, Dr. Rajulji, and all the academicians here. It's really a matter of pleasure and privilege to talk about something which is very close to one's heart. National Education Policy 2020, after 68, 86, and certain changes in 92, again in 2020, all of us are blessed with wonderful national education policy. Earlier, all the time, it was new education policy. For the first time, it has been emphasized that it is not new education policy, it is much more of national education policy. The reason is it talks a lot about the India, Bharat as a nation. Being from the Open University, why it is very close, because Open University, Open Education system is very close to student-centric approach as well. The national education policy is also very close to student-centric approach. As all of you are today, for the training of teachers, I'm reminded what Shiv Khera talked about, the story of woodcutter, that a woodcutter is not getting promotion after 6 months also, or a year also, or 2 years. And the one who enters, after 3 months, it gets promoted. So the first one goes and asks the boss that why I'm not getting promotion after 2 years, and the one after 3 months is getting promoted, getting some extra perks. Then he asks that how many woods have you been cutting? I am all for environment, but still this is an anecdote that I'm sharing. That how many woods do you cut after 2 years of your job? He said, the first day I was cutting 5 and today I cut 7. And then he asked the another one, that how many you have been cutting? The second one said that before 6 months when I joined, I was cutting 4 and today I cut 8. It is the result. And the second was asked, what do you do exactly? How could you manage it? And then the second said that after cutting every wood, I sharpen my axe. So all of you are today here to sharpen your axe. And there the teacher's training plays very, very vital role. National education policy for the first time, till the time the teachers are not clear, it becomes very difficult to introduce or execute it. And so it is very, very important to understand the exact components of it. Professor Munna discussed in detail about it. But choice-based credit system is a wonderful platter when National Curriculum Framework also talks that a student has something very interesting in the whole platter. I do remember that being a classical dancer and choreographer also years back when I approached my PhD supervisor telling that I want to study on literature and performing arts, everybody appreciated the idea, but unfortunately we could not execute it because the policy did not have enough space for that. For the first time, very important component, recognizing prior learning, RPL, gives lot of scope for a fast learner, that you can complete the course faster than the conventional duration. National education policy makes that arrangement. Most of the faculties even do not know that now national education policy gives opportunity to a learner to pursue 2 parallel degrees also. One from the conventional university and second from the open distance learning or open universities. So when a student goes out of the campus, at that time he has or she has 2 opportunities parallel, that he may pursue either further studies or get job based on any of those 2 degrees. So somewhere I think we should know that also. Savidyaya Vimuktaye, the true education liberates. Again, it is a student-centric approach. As Professor Munna said, that a lot of time we focused a lot on placement, 100% placement. And somewhere when the whole world talks about happiness index, we forgot, we missed somewhere, the education system completely missed it. Now for the first time it talks about the languages also, and it talks about 64 arts also. That really makes an individual happy, gives happiness in one's life. So for the first time, the education policy talks about the education vidya, which is a muktakari that liberates, which is a yuktakari that makes one appropriate for anything. And third, it is arthakari that makes and earn livelihood. So for the first time, the policy talks about muktakari and yuktakari also. When we talk about academic bank of credit, somewhere we will have to understand that we will be able to execute academic bank of credit then only when an individual can get admission in a single course paper. Because he or she should be flexibility, he should find enough flexibility to earn 4 or 5 credits from here, 12 credits from somewhere else, or 20 credits from somewhere else. And at that time, every organization will have to come forward to give admission in single courses or single paper that national education policy talks about. For the first time, it talks about flexibility in exam also. At our university, we have introduced on-demand exam. We conduct 4 times a year exam of the same course and same program. So somewhere that flexibility in evaluation, assessment, examination is also equally important. National education policy talks about Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation. The title itself should make every individual think that interpretation matters a lot. Earlier, translation used to take place, but the interpretations were very different. So for the first time, everybody has come to know that interpretations are important. It talks about 40% blended mode. Now, as a faculty, we will have to understand there is very deep difference between blended mode and hybrid mode. Most of the time, people take hybrid mode as a blended mode. These two are very different things. So online classes or maybe completely 100% offline class can also be blended, that one has to understand. So for the first time, the teachers need to get trained for blended teaching or hybrid teaching also. That's very, very important. When we talk about something for everybody, R.K. Narayan, who had been a wonderful writer, unfortunately failed to get admission in English as a subject. And then for the years to come, the specialized English faculties, they studied literature produced by R.K. Narayan. So here, very, very important that national education policy gives us opportunity not only of recognizing prior learning, but it gives opportunity to offer very offbeat courses. If we have a glance over either Korea or Philippines or maybe China, what kind of courses they offer, that is very, very important. So somewhere as teachers, we have to, if we visit certain very, very good universities across the globe, there the teachers come up that my specialization is about this. I want to introduce this course. I think this, when every teacher comes up with very offbeat some program course where the students would be interested, I think then national education policy may reach to its destined place. At our university, since 3 years, we have introduced flexi entry, flexi exit, on-demand examination, and I'm very happy to share that be it be Kathak, Bharatnatyam, singing, and everything that we have been offering under recognizing prior learning also. And any student from your college, your university can get admission in any of single paper also in our university, and that credit can be transferred also, single paper credit. Somewhere I feel these things are very, very important. And for example, be it be tribal language, tribal literature, we are converting them also into credits. So we should come forward and let there be carpentry, let there be whatever someone is interested, those should be converted into credits also. I'm sure that the trained teachers will enrich the lives of the students also. I'm very thankful to the organization for giving me an opportunity to share my views. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam. NEP 2020 emphasizes equipping technical teachers with the necessary skills to create well-rounded individuals with 21st century skills by revamping curricula and pedagogies. I now invite Dr. Rajul Gajjar, Vice Chancellor, Gujarat Technological University, to share her views. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. A very good morning to all my dear colleagues. Respected Sunaina Madam, Pani Sir, Dr. Rajat Moona, Dr. Ami Upadhyay, Dr. Maitrey. It's a pleasure. It's a wonderful homecoming for me to be able to come and connect on this important occasion. So, talking about, I've been given a time limit. So I'll quickly take you through, walk you through this beautiful journey that all of us together are, as of now, traveling on the NEP roadmap. NEP 2020 is transformational. It talks about transformation, and the transformation starts with the students. At the heart of this entire policy, we have kept the students. It is for the students to be able to open up, to be able to take flight, give them wings. Keeping this at the core, there are many policies which all of you, most of you may be familiar with. I'll also walk you through those policies also. But now comes the important point. When we say the student at the heart of the policy, the most important entity is the teacher. Only through the mentor, the facilitator, the resource person, the faculty, the guru, that we'll be able to reach out and really implement this policy. Really bring the outcomes that are expected out of this policy. The outcomes that will give flight to the nation. And therefore, I hold this meeting, this entire training, very important, very close to my heart. It is the teacher who is the via media, who is the, I should say, the expressway, the fast train that is going to give right to the students, to the implementers, to the administrators, to the universities, to take us to the destination that we all hope to reach very quickly. It is a matter of speed, it is a matter of scale. And as everyone here has spoken on so far, it is about the scale. The numbers that we are handling, the students, the faculty, the institutions that we are handling needs to be addressed very carefully. So when we talk transformation, we talk about the student-centric, which is through the faculty, and there is one another very important point and entity that we also, as technical teachers, bring into this whole ecosystem is the industry. The industry connect right through the beginning. For the students, it has to be hands-on, it has to be experiential. For the faculty also, because the student is faster. The student, as I'll tell you more about the policies that GTU is putting in place and which the country is looking forward to and is looking at as a good model, that we need these students to be industry ready. That means they are going to take flight. All the systems, the curricula are designed accordingly. It is for the teacher that we have to facilitate, we have to give freedom, we have to give the flexibility to go out, connect, become immersed in the industry, call it whatever we want to call it, internships, immersion, but that is where the teacher also has to look forward to that. And once that happens, the industry, now here we cannot work in silos. The industry also needs to know what is happening on your campuses, on the universities, in the ABC. I'll come to all those NEP terminology and the criteria in a while. So the industry also needs to know from the very beginning what is happening. They also need to transform. They need to bring all those changes. They are the recruiters. They need to know that the student might come out within 3 years. The student might come out with many multidisciplinarity aspects, and therefore they also have to be equipped. So the policy changes, the transformation has to happen simultaneously, parallelly, in the administration, in the regulatory bodies, in the universities, and also in the industries. That is a big role that our faculty as our ambassadors are going to play. The more you go out, the more you talk, the more you integrate industry onto our campuses, the success of this policy hinges on that. So the basic aspect that everyone has talked about is the multidisciplinarity. There are many aspects that NEP looks at, but I'll keep my focus on the multidisciplinarity in terms of what do we mean by multidisciplinarity. Everything that the student does has to have an entirety, a holistic concept of what they are doing. Any project, any real life situation is multidisciplinary. And therefore, that is what we are trying to bring in. It is not an easy task, but it is something that is going to touch the fire in the belly of every teacher. There is a passion in every teacher, every faculty to go out and also do more and more on this multidisciplinarity aspect, because they have already seen the taste of it through research, through the research projects, through the innovation that they are doing, through all the innovation projects. That is where they have already seen, tasted, have a lot of hands-on on that, and that is what should come into the classes, into the curricula, into what the students take back. So when we talk multidisciplinarity, let me give you one very quick example of what GTU has already put. There are many policies which we are coming out with, and we have already put up on our website. We will also come back to you. There is a principals conclave that we are doing on 21st, next Monday. The invitations have gone out to the dignitaries. Probably all the letters have also reached to all the principals. Basically, to start introducing you to what is it that the institutions need to prepare for NEP. As a university, as administrators, we are already doing it, but there are many, many aspects that the institutions need to do. One aspect, there is this policy that we have put up, let's call it the MOOCs policy. It addresses all the electives on the campus. The electives basket keeps on expanding even as I speak today. We have not just added the NPTEL and the SWAYAM courses, we have added the deep tech courses, we have added many, many, many industry-defined courses. They are hybrid, they are online, they are international, they are by some of the best industries. So the basket keeps on expanding. And this policy on MOOCs that we have put up since quite some time, I hope that many of you would have gone through it. But the policy says that let's say there is an elective in semester 5, and we have allowed that before semester 5, the student can take any of these electives, complete them, give their assessment before they start semester 5, and you are exempted from that elective of that particular course in that semester. What happens? So we have given flight, we have given flexibility, we have given multidisciplinarity. And at the same time, giving exemption means, will they be wasting time? What will they be doing? What happens on campus? They can do their innovation projects. They can go out and do any skill development project. We are also offering many such skill-based trainings, industry-defined, centrally from GTU, as well as we will roll them out to the institutions. We are free to go and adopt them. And this is where we need the faculty. Now, here comes the implementation problem. The faculty is assigned that course in semester 5. इलेक्टिव जो आने वाला है वो पूरा बास्केट हमने कह दिया है, उसके अंदर कोई रोक टोक नहीं है. इंस्टीट्यूशन के पास वो कैपेबिलिटी हो ना हो, बास्केट बढ़ता ही जाता है, बिकॉज देर आर मेनी एंटिटीज विच आर डिलीवरिंग दोज इलेक्टिव्स. बट द फैकल्टी इज असाइन दैट इलेक्टिव इन सेमेस्टर 5. उससे पहले उसको स्टूडेंट तो स्मार्ट है ही, वो वेबसाइट पे जाके काफ़ी सारे देख लेंगे. हम ये सारा AI बेस भी हमने कर दिया है. स्टूडेंट के क्वेश्चंस पे ये FAQs पे आंसर आने लगेगा कि आप इतने इलेक्टिव्स ले सकते हैं पहले, तो वो लेना चाहेगा. मगर फैकल्टी को तो बताना है ना कि भाई ये आपको पहले ख़त्म करना है. Otherwise, you have to take that elective on the campus that is being offered by the institution. Now, this is where we need that everyone moves at a fast pace. I'm sure the transformation takes time to understand, to know, to internalize, but this is where all of us have to work together. This is just one example of how fast we are opening up. The faster the faculty keeps pace, the better for the institutions, for the students. So this is one example I wanted to give you on how we are rolling out the policies day in and day out. And believe me, this is all not just, a small core committee. This is a huge committee, deans, industry experts, roundtables, all the regulatory bodies who have sat on these committees, given their views, and therefore the implementation is very, very sound. Another aspect that also is brought in on campus at every level is about research and innovation. The capability of innovation, the capability of creative thinking, out-of-box thinking, multidisciplinarity, creating projects is now given over to the students in terms of all these courses, all the possibilities, and very fortunately I have traveled across the country in the 5 regions to give workshops on many aspects, and we have seen that none of them has a beautiful policy on innovation as Gujarat. We are giving funds, we are giving opportunities to the students to innovate. Many of our faculty are already mentoring so many innovation projects. Multidisciplinarity, project-based learning, hands-on learning, industry readiness, हमने already डाल दिया है, था ही, और उसी को हमें आगे ले जाना है. So that is one big advantage that Gujarat already has. Let me take you through a little bit of the terminology. When we say NCRF, there are 3 very important terminologies जिसकी policies हम बार बार डालते हैं. NCRF है, दूसरा टर्म है ABC, और तीसरा टर्म मैं कहूँगी multiple entry, multiple exit. The national credit framework is where we are working very seriously. At every point, we will be matching the national credit framework, which is also internationally accepted. तो आपने डिप्लोमा किया, आपने बैचलर्स किया, आपने मास्टर्स किया, आपने PhD किया, तो आप एक पर्टिकुलर NCRF पे जाते हैं. वो आप थोड़ा समझ लीजिए, हमने हमारी वेबसाइट पे भी डाला है, स्पेशली ऑन द 21st प्रिंसिपल्स कॉन्क्लेव. And we'll also invite a few of your experts, academic coordinators, so that it becomes easier for you to implement. So NCRF is one terminology. The other one which everyone has mentioned is ABC, the Academic Bank of Credit. Now that is where we are seeing a huge scope. जो मैंने एक example आपको दिया, उसमें credits automatically. उसके साथ साथ, for example, we are working very closely with IIT Gandhinagar, we are working with many such institutions, industries, तो उनके credits भी हम map करके इसमें डाल देंगे. Student के पास extra credit भी आएगी, student will also be working towards the completion of their courses. So that is ABC. Another important terminology, multiple entry exit, वो भी हम आपको बता देंगे, जहाँ पे हमने एक flexibility डाल दी है. After first year, student is not able to continue or wishes to go to an industry hands-on, तो additional 6 to 8 credits का एक skill based course करके उसको additional certificate देके हम उसको कहेंगे कि yes, you can go, but you can come back semester 2 if you have taken this certificate. So the flight, the wings that NEP has really meant is already being given to the students. It is for the faculty, the administrators, and the industry, most important, to start understanding, recruiting, opening up. And we'll work together. It is an ever-evolving process, but it is actually firing our dreams. Every student has had, every faculty, I'm sorry, has had that dream कि मुझे ये autonomy हो, मुझे ये करना है, मुझे वो करना है, वो सारी चीज़ें अब हमारे पास available है. So thank you very much. Congratulations for being here, and all the best to JITRS and to NITTR to take forward this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. NEP 2020 envisions an education system that transforms India into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society, making India a global knowledge superpower. With this, I now request
But all that is useless after listening to these stalwarts. So now, and all of you, sitting from here, you can see how interested the class is. यहाँ से दिखता है. So as a teacher, आपको भी जरूर दिखता होगा कि बच्चे कितने इंटरेस्टेड हैं. दिखता होगा ना एज टीचर बैठ के. सो बच्चे जहां इंटरेस्टेड ना हो वहां टीचर बोलता जाए उसका कोई मतलब नहीं. नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी, आई विल जस्ट सम इट अप, छोटे छोटे पॉइंट्स. फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज ईच चाइल्ड इज यूनिक. बोला ना, हर बच्चा अगर यूनिक है तो हम उसको उसकी जो यूनिकनेस है उसके साथ उसको आगे क्यों नहीं बढ़ने देते. राइट. एजुकेशन पॉलिसी, हमारी एजुकेशन पॉलिसी, अभी बोला डायरेक्टर आईआईटी ने कि उस एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में जब बच्चे स्कूल में आते हैं, टू बिगिन विद स्कूल, ऑल ऑफ यू मस्ट बी पेरेंट्स. जब बच्चे स्कूल में जाते हैं तो वो टीचर के लिए एक हैं. दे शुड ऑल बी लाइक ईच अदर. हाँ कि ना? हाँ. टीचर उनको सबको यूनिफॉर्म में बैठाती है और सेट सिस्टम्स हैं, सेट पैरामीटर्स हैं कि बच्चा अगर इस पैरामीटर में है तो वो अच्छा, अगर इस पैरामीटर से थोड़ा सा हटके है तो कम अच्छा, थोड़ा ज़्यादा हटके है तो बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं. स्कूल में मैंने पहले स्कूल एजुकेशन भी मैं काम किया है. वहाँ पे ऐसे बच्चों को स्कूल में प्रिय बालक बोला जाता है. बोला जाता है प्रिय बालक का मतलब क्या हुआ? अ सॉफ्ट वे ऑफ सेइंग दैट यू आर यूजलेस. यही हुआ ना कि प्रिय बालक आगे बिठाओ. स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट. द चाइल्ड वेरी वेल नोज कि आप उसके अंदर विश्वास नहीं रख रहे हैं. डज द चाइल्ड नॉट नो? ही और शी नोज. नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी सिर्फ ये कह रही है कि जैसे आप हैं वैसा आपको रहने दें और आपको जैसे आप हैं उससे बेहतर बनने के लिए उसी डायरेक्शन में एजुकेशन आपको सपोर्ट करे. Is this national education policy? Yesterday I saw a film. Mr. Pani had suggested me Shrikant. आपने देखा होगा, the person was blind. देखा है किसने देखा है पिक्चर? ये बच्चा ब्लाइंड था. उसके पेरेंट्स दे वर पुअर पीपल. उनको लग रहा था ये बच्चा इस देश को या इस समाज को फेस नहीं कर पाएगा. सो दे वर सेइंग कि इस बच्चे से अभी छुटकारा पालें. दे डिड नॉट नो कि बच्चा इतना ब्राइट है. बच्चा जब कॉलेज गया, ही स्टार्टेड शाइनिंग. बच्चे मजाक भी उसी बच्चे का बनाते हैं जो डिफरेंटली एबल्ड है, जिसको कुछ नहीं आता. ही न्यू ही वाज सो गुड इन हिज सब्जेक्ट्स लाइक मैथमेटिक्स एंड साइंस. आफ्टर 10th उसको पढ़ना है साइंस. बट हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम ये कहता है कि जो बच्चा विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड है वो साइंस नहीं पढ़ सकता, बिकॉज उसमें प्रैक्टिकल्स होते हैं, बिकॉज इसमें ये इन्वॉल्व है, वो इन्वॉल्व है. ही वेंट टू द कोर्ट. कोर्ट जाके उसने जज को बड़ा मुश्किल से कन्विंस किया कि साहब मैं पढ़ना चाहता हूँ, मैं पढ़ सकता हूँ, मैं कर सकता हूँ. इफ़ यू लूज वन फैकल्टी योर अदर फैकल्टीज आर स्ट्रोंगर. बड़ी मुश्किल से बच्चे ने कन्विंस किया. उसको 11th में एडमिशन मिला कहीं साइंस में. वहाँ भी उसने शाइन किया. फिर उसको कहा, वो कहता है कि जी मैं आईआईटी पढ़ूंगा. आईआईटी पढ़ने के लिए अगेन द सेम रूल केम इन हिज वे कि आप आईआईटी में तब नहीं जा सकते जब आप विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड हैं. फिर उसकी एक टीचर थी, उसकी एक मेंटर थी. उसने कहा कि चलो हम इंटरनेशनली अप्लाई करते हैं. इंटरनेशनली में MIT picked him up. Massachusetts Institute of Technologies, which is one of the best, they picked him up with full scholarship. वो बच्चा वहाँ पढ़ के आया. मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि इतनी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी अगर MIT दिखा सकती थी तो हमारा सिस्टम क्यों नहीं दिखा सकता था? वो नहीं दिखा सकता था और वो दिखा सके उसके लिए बनाई गई न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी. क्यों नहीं आप एक नए तरीके से सोच सकते हैं? सोचना चाहिए कि नहीं सोचना चाहिए? आप सब इस क्लासरूम में बैठे हैं, लेट अस कॉल इट अ क्लासरूम ओनली. कितने सब एक जैसे हैं? टेल मी, आर यू लाइक ईच अदर? वुड यू वांट मी टू ट्रीट ऑल ऑफ यू इन अ सिमिलर फैशन? नहीं. छोटे बच्चे कैसे टॉलरेट करेंगे? उनका दिल कटता होगा जब उसका मन हो रहा है आर्ट्स में, जब उसका मन हो रहा है म्यूजिक में, और साथ साथ उसका मन हो रहा है फिजिक्स में, वो नहीं पढ़ सकता। उसको कंपल्सरी है कि फिजिक्स तो इस सब्जेक्ट्स के साथ ही पढ़ेगा। आई विल टेल यू माई ओन एग्जाम्पल। आई डिड माई 10th, आई वॉज अ फेयरली गुड स्टूडेंट। उसके बाद मुझे ऑप्शन था कि मैं, क्योंकि इतनी अच्छी स्टूडेंट हूँ, मुझे साइंस लेनी चाहिए, लेकिन मुझे फिजिक्स नहीं समझ में आता था। आई हैड नो इंटरेस्ट इन फिजिक्स। सो आई केम एंड टोल्ड माई फादर कि मुझे पापा फिजिक्स नहीं अच्छा लगता। एक सेकेंड में आई एम समहाउ सरप्राइज्ड, यू नो, एट दैट जनरेशन। माई फादर टोल्ड मी, बेटा वो पढ़ जो तेरे को पढ़ना है। एंड आई टुक आर्ट्स, ह्यूमैनिटीज। आफ्टर बीइंग सच अ गुड स्टूडेंट, हमारे टाइम में तो एडमिशन्स भी मार्क्स पे होता था। एंड आई लैंडेड अप इन एन आर्ट्स कॉलेज। आर्ट्स कॉलेज में साइकोलॉजी और ज्योग्राफी पढ़ रही थी। आर्ट्स कॉलेज में जाके देखा यहाँ तो कोई पढ़ता ही नहीं है। और मेरे साथ के जो मेरे फेलो स्टूडेंट्स थे, उनमें से एक लड़के का नाम मुझे अभी तक याद है। ही वॉज संदीप मल्होत्रा। ही रिटायर्ड फ्रॉम ICICI बैंक एट अ फेयरली सीनियर पोजीशन। उसका एडमिशन हो गया एक बड़े अच्छी इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में। एक मेरी फ्रेंड जो मुझसे 10-15% मार्क्स कम लेके आती थी, शी गॉट एडमिशन इन मेडिकल कॉलेज रोहतक, एंड आई वॉज नोवेयर। आई थॉट व्हाट टू डू। क्लास में जाती थी, लेक्चरर इफ आई आस्क समथिंग, वो कहता था कल पढ़ के आना, कल बताऊंगा। सो एज अ रिजल्ट मुझे खुद पढ़ने की आदत ज़्यादा लगने लगी, एंड दैट्स हाउ आई लैंडेड अप इन दिस सर्विस वेयर आई बिलोंग टू। सो कहने का मतलब सिर्फ ये है कि बच्चे को जो पढ़ना चाहता है उसको पढ़ने दो, जैसे पढ़ना चाहता है उसको पढ़ने दो। नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी, जैसे मैंने बताया, डॉक्टर राजुल गजर ने आके मुझे एक्सप्लेन किया, एंड आई वॉज सो इम्प्रेस्ड। आप सब में से, पूरे हॉल में से कोई नया है नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के लिए, तो वो मैं हूँ। आई एम द न्यूएस्ट। आप सभी लोग, वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ NEP 2020 in October 24, and we are organizing workshop for the teachers. आपको लगता नहीं हम बहुत लेट हैं? हाँ, लग रहा है? मैडम ये बता रहे हैं कि पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी ने वर्कशॉप भी नहीं किया है। सो मैडम, वी एश्योर यू मैडम that in your next visit we would be far more better prepared and far more good in execution and implementation. करेंगे ना सभी हम? हाँ? अच्छा, दूसरी चीज बताई थी साहब ने, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी। तीसरी चीज मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी, मैंने बात की इसकी। क्रिएटिविटी एंड क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट, देन इंडस्ट्री लिंकेज। आप लोग इंजीनियर्स निकालते हैं, आप टेक्निकल इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं। आप मुझे सच सच बताइए कि जितने बच्चे इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ के जाते हैं वो बेसिक ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग जानते हैं कि नहीं? सिविल इंजीनियर को सिविल इंजीनियरिंग के जो बेसिक एजुकेशन है वो बच्चे के अंदर है कि नहीं? दैट मेक्स हिम सूटेबल फॉर एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी। अगर कोई आदमी या कोई इंडस्ट्री वाला या गवर्नमेंट या कोई भी एम्प्लॉयर किसी को एम्प्लॉय करता है तो वो देखता है कि इसको भाई मेरा काम आता है कि नहीं, और उसके लिए जज करना इज वेरी इजी। ही विल आस्क हिम 10 बेसिक क्वेश्चंस, एंड आई हैव सीन स्टूडेंट्स नॉट एबल टू आंसर दोज बेसिक क्वेश्चंस जिसकी उसने पढ़ाई की। तो आपने क्या पढ़ाया? ये अपने को खुद को इंसाइट करने की जरूरत है। आपके सामने ह्यूमन बीइंग के बच्चे थे, ह्यूमंस थे विद ब्राइट ब्रेन्स, उनको हम बेसिक भी नहीं सिखा पाए। तो गलती किसकी, उसकी कि हमारी? आई एक्सपेक्ट एन आंसर फ्रॉम यू फॉर द टीचर्स। अगर हम बच्चे को जो पढ़ा रहे हैं उसका बेसिक हम उसके अंदर नहीं डाल पा रहे हैं तो गलती बच्चे की है कि हमारी? हमने अगर क्लास इंटरेस्टिंग की होती, अगर उसको प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम्पल से उसका थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट कैप्चर किया होता, उसको बार बार इंस्टेड ऑफ गोइंग थ्रू द रेगुलर सिस्टम ऑफ रोट एग्जामिनेशन एंड लर्निंग, अगर उसकी हमने बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग पे थोड़ा ध्यान दिया होता, would we have improved the employability of that child or not? We could have. It is not a difficult task, it is not an impossible task. National education policy मैंने तो जब से पढ़ा है, I am so very impressed with it. और अगर एक यूनिवर्सिटी GTU is able to do it, IIT is able to do it, Madam Ami was talking about, she is able to do it, we should all be able to do it. ठीक है, resistance to change. हमें अच्छा लगता है कि जो चल रहा है वो चलेगा, है ना, पढ़ के आए हैं, खोलो चोपड़ी, चलो लिखो ये, फिर एग्जाम में उसको मार्क दे के थोड़ा सा चेंज करो यार, आपके लिए भी अच्छा रहेगा. चेंज इज ऑलवेज वेलकम. थोड़ा चेंज करके देखो, यू वुड एंजॉय. अगर आप किसी फॉरेन कंट्री में जाते हैं, यूरोप में जाते हैं, वहाँ हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि टीचर आया तो सब बच्चे खड़े हो जाएं, गुड मॉर्निंग करते हैं ना. वहाँ नहीं करते, वहाँ वो टीचर को फर्स्ट नाम से बुलाते हैं. ठीक है, ज्ञान का आप ले होता है, इट इज गिव एंड टेक. दे आर मैच्योर इंडिविजुअल्स. कॉलेज में जो बच्चा आ गया, बड़ा हो गया, वो उसको अपनी, उसके अंदर क्या है, थोड़ी अभिव्यक्ति के लिए वी शुड गिव हिम और हर स्पेस. अनलाइक माय सर, वो यूज्ड टू एनीथिंग आई यूज्ड टू आस्क, इसे कल पढ़ के आना फिर बताऊंगा. तो मुझे पता था पढ़ना तो मुझे ही है, तो मैं पढ़ लेती थी उसको. तो थोड़ा सा मीन्स आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट, आप इतनी अच्छी एक इंस्टीट्यूट में, इतनी अच्छी शहर में आप लोग आए हैं ट्रेनिंग के लिए, आई विश कि आप लोग वापस जाएं, थोड़ा सा दिमाग खुला करके जाएं. यू आर ऑल यंग पीपल, पीछे तो बहुत यंग लोग हैं. ठीक है, आपसे हम NEP की शुरुआत करेंगे मैडम, एंड इन योर नेक्स्ट विजिट वी विल बी बेटर प्रिपेयर्ड. एक मैं कहना चाहूंगी, क्योंकि पानी साहब यहाँ पे हैं, आई हब कितने लोगों ने विजिट किया है? इनोवेशन हब, पानी इन सबको विजिट करो. एज पार्ट ऑफ योर ट्रेनिंग मॉड्यूल, मैंने मेरे 35 साल के IAS सर्विस करियर में आई हैव नॉट सीन समथिंग एज गुड एज द इनोवेशन हब. वहाँ पे एक लर्निंग का एक एनवायरनमेंट है, यू नो. और उस इनोवेशन हब में अगर बच्चा बिल्कुल भी पढ़ा नहीं है, पनी करेक्ट मी, अगर बच्चा बिल्कुल पढ़ा नहीं है और फिर भी उसको एक बहुत अच्छा आइडिया है, तो सरकार उसका मदद करता है. न सिर्फ खुद पैसा देने में, उसको वेंचर फंड से पैसा दिलाने में, उसको इन्वेस्टर्स से इन्वेस्ट कराने में. तो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू, आपका आउटिंग भी हो जाएगा और आप कुछ देख के जाएं कि अच्छी चीज़ें, यू नो, दे आर डेवलपिंग इन गवर्नमेंट. मैंने मतलब ऐसा सिस्टम नहीं देखा. पानी साहब बैठते हैं वहाँ बिकॉज उनको बहुत इंटरेस्ट है उस चीज़ में. उनकी फाइल नेक्स्ट डे मेरे पास आती है कि आज 2 करोड़ या 2.5 करोड़ बच्चों को देना है. वी साइन एंड दे, इट इज़ डन. You know, such government working, it is amazing. तो आप सब प्लीज देख के जाइएगा, और जितने भी आपके लेक्चर्स हों, on 4th day I would again like to come. We would have a very interactive session कि आपने क्या सीखा, कैसे हम करेंगे इसको आगे. ठीक है, तो इसको कोई अपने ऊपर कोई चीज़, ऐसी चीज़ मत लगाइए कि हम थोप रहे हैं आपके ऊपर. This is for your good, for good of the children. And this is a national policy which we are bound to follow. It gives a lot of space for teachers to grow, for students to grow. So let us all welcome it. बच्चे जब जहाँ जाते हैं, my daughter, she is studying in Netherlands. And this girl, I thought ये कैसे रहेगी, you know, कभी हॉस्टल में रही नहीं थी अकेले. She is blooming there. She says, oh my God, there is, teachers don't judge you, you know. They give us space to grow. There is enough space to express yourself. That is what all education is all about. ठीक है ना? So wish you all the very, very best. We will meet on the 4th day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Madam. I now invite Shri Vimal Prajapati, Joint Director, Commissionerate of Technical Education, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, all of you. Esteemed dignitaries, respected speakers, and dear participants, it is my privilege and honor to extend a heartfelt word of thanks on behalf of the Commissioner of Technical Education, Government of Gujarat. First, I would like to take a moment to express our sincere gratitude to Honorable Minister, Sri Rushikesh Patel, for his support and encouragement this program, despite being unable to attend today due to some unavoidable circumstances. His commitment to advancement of education in Gujarat, particularly in context in the National Education Policy 2020, has been source of immense inspiration for all of us. We deeply appreciate his continued guidance and look forward his valuable involvement in future initiatives. I would like to express my sincere thanks, Sunena Tomar Madam, for your remarkable contribution in education sector. Ma'am, your guidance and vision for the effective implementation NEP 2020 are deeply appreciated, and your work today have enriched us all. Our heartfelt thanks to Sri Rajat Muna sir for sharing your invaluable insight, your expertise and thought on how the technical education can enhance in alignment with NEP 2020 have added the great dimension to today's session. I would like to thank R.K. Gajjar Madam, GTUVC, her remarkable work in NEP 2020, and would like to thank Ma'am for her presence in address to Ami Upadhyay Madam. I would like to thank Dr. Maitri Datta, your briefing on the program, your contribution to technical education, your participation in the program will extremely benefit all of us. A very special and important word of thanks, Sri Bansanidhi Pani sir. Sir, your continuous guidance and support have been instrumental in organizing this significant program. Without your vision and leadership, this event would not have been possible. And we are deeply grateful for your continued encouragement and direction, sir. Lastly, I would like to express my gratitude to all participants, speakers, media, the organizing team member who have worked tirelessly behind the scene. Your dedication has ensured the smooth execution of the program, and we look forward the impactful session and day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. With this, we conclude the inaugural session. Our next session will be in this very hall, so participants are requested to return after a very short 5-minute break. Thank you. Namaskar.